What's going on, fellas? So you already know what time it is. This video we're gonna be talking about should you get married. So should you get married? Let's understand something first about marriage. Well, now before we even get there, interest of full disclosure, I have been married to the same person 2 times. Yeah, not once but twice. Right. So this is going to come from the perspective of somebody that's did it and what they learned, and my anecdotal experience, and then my objective experience looking at the world. So the first thing you need to understand is being legally married is a contractual obligation. A marriage license is a contract that now the government is going to look at two people as one entity. Okay? So my best recommendation would be that if you are going to get married, don't do it legally. That's my advice for you gentlemen. Don't do it legally. I wouldn't do it legally. I've done it legally twice, and now this is the crazy part. My ex-wife, she was the one that actually put the bug in my ear about the legal part of it. Before we got married the second time, right? She even said to me, it ain't gonna change anything. Like, I mean, if you want to do it, I'll do it, but we're already together, so what's the point? Right? Me just being uneducated, luckily, we have a good relationship, but most marriages don't end with people having a good relationship. Stuff goes crazy. Sometimes as a man, you'll end up just desolate. I knew a dude, he lived in a studio apartment. That's all he could afford because the alimony and child support was just taking him under. And she had the house. Then got behind on the house and had to sell it. But he still had to give her alimony. So it's just crazy. So the short answer is, should you get married? Hell no. Not legally. Like what they say, do it by the church, not by the state. Have the ceremony if you want. Do all that stuff. But don't do it legally. 9 times out of 10, it ends up bad for the man. It just does. That's just what it is. Now, I know a lot of dudes, even if they see this video, they're still going to want to get married anyway. They're still going to want to go down that aisle. They're still going to want to sign that legal paperwork. So we gotta, arm you gentlemen with the best information, right? The best thing that you can do before you ever ask a woman to marry you is have your shit together. Understand women, have your money on point, and just be informed. Just be educated. Like, you really have to understand women, because there's certain things that go on with women that if you're not armed with knowledge, going into a marriage, you are planning to fail. So I would recommend, having been with a good amount of women so you can have a good knowledge base of what you're even doing. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you're headed for destruction. I'm going to just tell you, you're headed for destruction. It is going to happen. It ain't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Now, another thing you want to do, you have to establish roles from jump, right? So you two have to know, are you both going to work? Is she not going to work after having children? Because children are expensive. So, that's why I said you have to have your money on point first, because if she's not going to work after having children, you got to be able to afford it. So I wouldn't recommend even thinking about marriage when you're in your 20s. Like, don't be like me. I got married at 22 the first time. Don't do it. Everybody in my family told me not to do it. It wasn't her. It was just that I was so young that I ain't know shit. What did I know? I didn't even know what I didn't know. Just wide-eyed, got my nose all open, being a big dumbass. But I went through it so you don't have to go through it. So I can tell you, so I can write this down on this paper and tell you what you should and should not do. So you got to have your roles from jump. Everybody has to know what they're doing. Is she going to be home with the children, taking care of the house while you go out and make the bread and come home? Is it going to be 50-50, or the children going to daycare? Have these conversations. Don't wait until situations come up to then want to have these conversations. Trust me, it's going to be a headache. It's going to make for a stressful situation. And both of y'all are going to be like, what the hell did we sign up for? Another thing is, like I said before, a marriage license is a contract, right? So when you say, I love a person, I want to marry them, right? Now, let's say you are a recording artist. You're a music guy, right? You rap. And let's say you're under duress and you sign a recording contract, 360 deal, whatever. Because you're under duress, that contract will be considered null and void. You signed it not of sound mind and judgment, right? So when you love a person, that's an emotion. Emotions are fickle. So why would you sign a legal document off of an emotion? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. People say, oh, I love this person, I want to marry. No, you marry using logic, right? Can I see myself with this person? Does this person add value to my life? And the sad reality is most men get married and a woman don't add a not even 1% value. It's just, oh, I'm in love with her. So we put the blinders on and just dive head first into it. And it's like, no, brother, you need to make sure that chick is going to be the one. Like, is she in shape? Is she going to the gym? I noticed this whole thing with women being in shape and, you know, the whole acceptance of people being overweight, whatever. That's cool. But her having a good workout regimen and being in shape is going to be indicative of how she's going to be long term, right? Just as much as men are judged by if we're in shape, if we're ambitious, if we have money. You have to know where it's going, because when she has your children, inevitably she's going to gain weight. So you want to know, is she going to be disciplined enough to get the weight back down? I don't believe in you getting with a person and over time they get worse as far as their weight and everything like that. Now, granted, we all age. We're not going to all look the same. It is what it is. But as far as what you can control, I think that level of comfort you have jacks you up. That's why I don't even recommend living together. Don't even live with a woman. Now, that's a topic for a whole nother video. We're not going to talk about that in depth in this video. But all I'll say is living with a woman can put you in a level of comfort to where you just, it don't go good for you. But we'll talk about that in another video. But overall, I don't think marriage is a bad thing. I'm totally against legal marriage, though. Don't do it. I don't endorse it. I think it's dumb for the man. For the woman, all day. Women get all the benefits of being married, but none of the negatives. Men don't really get much benefits out of marriage. Like, women will say, oh, well, I'm not going to do wifely duties on girlfriend prices. And it's like, well, he probably not going to commit to you anyway. Because if you're not even willing to show what you qualify for, why the hell is the man going to commit to wanting to put his name on the dotted line anyway and give you his last name? It's probably not going to happen. It's just not. That's why less and less people are getting married. Now, understand this. If you do get legally married, understand that first marriages end in divorce 51% of the time, right? 80% of the time, it's initiated by the woman. And I think in about 70% plus of the time, the divorce is initiated due to financial problems. Haha, that's why I said get your money on point first. Don't be broke. The worst thing you can do in any relationship, I don't even care if you're not even married, just dating. Don't be broke. Relationships are expensive. Children are expensive. Trust me, I did it totally backwards. I hustled backwards. Don't do it. From 18 to 25, just be grinding. Do what you do. If you're over 25 and you still trying to figure it out. We're men. You will always be able to find a younger, fertile woman. Even if you're 40 and childless, you'll be able to find a woman, even if she's 25 or 30, childless, that will be able to bear your children. Don't feel like it's a rush. You are not a failure as a man if you are 30 years old and not married. That is a measure of success for women. If a woman is 30, yes, the world's going to look at her weird because women's fertility. I don't think that's a failure personally, but God made their biological time clock. I'm not the keeper of that. God made it that way. But as men, we can make children until the day we die. So it's no rush. And most men don't hit their financial peak till they're 40 anyway. So it should be no rush to get married. But if that's what you want to do, hey, I'm not going to stop you. Do you? But at least be armed with the knowledge, the statistics and the knowledge to know that go into it with all your education. Don't be dumb. And don't just make it so, oh, I love her, I'm going to propose. No, it has to make sense. Please, for the love of God. Do not marry a woman just because you're in love with her. That is not enough. In the olden days, even women knew, oh, I'm going to marry him for stability and fall in love later. So you as a man, you marry a woman that adds value, right? If, let's say, for instance, how does a woman add value? Let's say, for instance, you go to the gym. She has your protein shake ready for you when you get home. She know you like that protein shake. Or let's say you go to the store and you get your Red Bulls, you forget to put them in the refrigerator. I'm giving you these real life examples. You forget to put them in the refrigerator. She sees them, oh, let me put them in the refrigerator for them. Or even cooks for you. Knows what's your favorite foods, your favorite meals. Just different little things that makes your life easier. I don't believe being with somebody, your life should be more difficult. If your life gets difficult after being with somebody, it's time to go. Married or not. And it's the thing. People will say, oh, y'all married, da da da. Look, that's bullshit. I'll be the first person to say, I don't care if you're married, I don't care what's going on. If your life is worse with being with a person, I don't care if it's your wife, girlfriend, or even a friend, or even a relative, cut them off. Get the fuck out of there. Cut them off. Because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You're going to feel terrible. You're not going to want to come home to that person. And it's just going to overall be a bad experience. So why go down that rabbit hole? Exit the moment you feel that way. Get out of there. You gotta be selfish sometimes. That's just what it is. But hopefully, my guys that want to get married, you'll take this video. You'll be armed with the knowledge to go into it with your head on proper. The very baseline of it. Have your money on point. You and your lady, y'all gotta establish what's going to be what from jump. And be educated about women. Have enough relationships to where you feel like you're ready. I'm not going to say how many or how many women you should sleep with. I'm not going to say none of that. You should know that on your own. You got to figure it out. But like this video, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you can be notified for the next video. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace out.